Namaste. So apologize for my delay.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Kumar.
Namaste. I had to take care of my dog. So took a couple of minutes extra. Let's start with 3 ohms. Prabhatam, Namo Namaha, depending on where you are. Welcome to the class. Welcome, Tammy, you are here. I was late.
Thank you. Yes, it's all right.
Thank you. So, Meena is not here. Okay. Let me bring up the sutras. Okay, go ahead, Kranti. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Om. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya cha vaidyakena yopakarottam pravaram munina patanjalim pranjaliranatosmi abahu purushakaram shankhachakrasidharinam सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिं श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। अथ विभूतिपादः देशबन्धः चित्तस्य धारणा तत्र प्रत्ययैकता नता ध्यानं तदेव अर्थमात्रनिर्भासं स्वरूपशून्यमिव समाधिः त्रयमेकत्र संयमः तच्छयात् प्रज्ञालोकः तस्य भूमिषु विनियोगः त्रयमन्तरङ्गं पूर्वेभ्यः तदपि बहिरङ्गं निर्बीजस्य व्युत्थाननिरोधसंस्कारयोः अभिभव प्रादुर्भावौ निरोधक्षणचित्तान्वयो निरोधपरिणामः तस्य प्रशान्तवाहिता संस्कारात्
सर्वार्थतैकाग्रतयोः क्षयोदयौ चित्तस्य समाधिपरिणामः ततः पुनः शान्तोदितौ तुल्यप्रत्ययौ चित्तस्य एकाग्रतपरिणामः एतेन भूतेन्द्रियेषु धर्म लक्षण अवस्था परिणामाः व्याख्याताः शांत उदित अव्यपदेश्य धर्मानुपाती धर्मी क्रमान्यत्वं परिणामान्यत्वे हेतुः परिणामत्रय संयमात् अतीतानागतज्ञानम् शब्दार्थप्रत्ययानाम् इतरेतराध्यासात् संकरः तत्प्रविभागसंयमात् सर्वभूतऋतज्ञानम् संस्कारसाक्षात्करणात् पूर्वजाते ज्ञानम् प्रत्ययस्य परचित्तज्ञानम् न च तत्सालम्बनं तस्याविषयीभूतत्वात् कायरूपसंयमात् तद्ग्राह्यशक्तिस्तम्भे चक्षुः प्रकाशासंप्रयोगे अन्तर्धानम् सोपक्रमं निरुपक्रमं च कर्म तत्संयमात् अपरान्तज्ञानम् अरिष्ठेभ्यो वा मैत्र्यादिषु बलानि बलेषु हस्तिबलादीनि प्रवृत्त्यालोकन्यासात् सूक्ष्म व्यवहित विप्रकृष्टज्ञानम् भुवनज्ञानं सूर्ये संयमात् चन्द्रे ताराव्यूहज्ञानं ध्रुवे तत्कतिज्ञानं नाभिचक्रे कायव्यूहज्ञानं कण्ठकूपे क्षुप्तिपासानिवृत्तिः कूर्मनाड्यं धैर्यं मूर्धज्योतिषि सिद्धदर्शनं प्रातिभात्वा सर्वं हृदये चित्तसंवित् सत्त्वपुरुषयोः अत्यन्ता संकीर्णयोः प्रत्यया विशेषो भोगः परार्थत्वात् स्वार्थसंयमात् पुरुषज्ञानम् ततः प्रातिभश्रावण वेदन आदर्श आस्वादवार्ता जायन्ते ते समाधवुपसर्गाः व्युत्थाने सिद्धयः बन्धकारणशैथिल्यात् प्रचारसंवेदना च चित्तस्य परशरीरावेशः उदानजयात् जलपङ्ककण्टकादिषु असङ्गः उत्क्रान्तिश्च समानजयात् ज्वलनं श्रोत्रकाशयोः सम्बन्धसंयमात् दिव्यं श्रोत्रं कायकाशयोः सम्बन्धसंयमात् लघुतूलसमापत्तेश्च आकाशगमनम् बहिरकल्पवृत्तिः महाविदेह ततः प्रकाशवर्णक्षयः स्थूल स्वरूप सूक्ष्म अन्वय अर्थवत्वसंयमात् भूतजयः ततो निमादिप्रादुर्भावः कायसम्पत् तद्धर्मानभिघातश्च रूप लावण्य बल वज्रसंहनानत्वानि कायसम्पत् ग्राहण स्वरूप अस्मित अन्वय अर्थवत्वसंयमात् इन्द्रियजयः. Thank you.
Thank you, Kranti. Namaste, everyone, again. So we kind of left off at, let's see, I think 342 or 3. Okay, yes, we left off at 342. So in this chapter, we have we started with new definitions, understanding dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Dharana is that state of coming into a single pointed focus, and dhyana is that single pointed focus becomes one. You begin to enjoy and oneness, and you lose sight of everything else. That is the dhyana. And in a samadhi, you experience that immeasurable peace and any answers to your questions, etc. So we came from there, and we also saw how, even though at this stage, at the stage of Kama Samadhi, although this is Antaranga Yoga compared to the other 5, it is still exterior to Nirbija Samadhi. That's what we saw. Nirbija Samadhi is state where you remain connected always. Here, it is kind of, you need a seed. This is the Sabija Samadhi we are talking about. So we defined all that, and then he redefined Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi with 3 new terms: Nirodha Parinamaha, then Samadhi Parinamaha, and Ekagrata Parinamaha. That's how he redefined it for us. So then we began to see the various special abilities. Once you have this, once you're able to connect to the divine, and once you're beginning to have this state of going into the state of samadhi, then in many cases, the seeker starts getting siddhis, various siddhis or special abilities. And we have repeatedly seen that these siddhis are being explained here only to make sure the seeker keeps going forward and does not stop here and think that he is too great, right? So we saw the various siddhis about cloaking technology, how you can look at the past, how you can get special abilities in seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, everything. How you can also, last week we saw that one can even enter into another body. In Tamil, we say "Kudu vittu kudu payiradu," right? We saw that example in 339 with Adi Shankara moving from his body. He was able to move his chitta into the chitta of the king who had just died. And then he came back after a few days into his body again, and then came back to that debate and was able to explain and answer the question that the lady had raised. We saw all that. And then we saw the various pranas, right? Prana, apana, vyana, udhana, samana, all that we saw. And then we said, once you conquer that udhana vayu, then you get the ability to walk on water, walk over thorny land, walk over marshy land, etc. And with conquering the samana vayu, which is the gene expression of the body, there is a kind of you conquer heat, meaning you have there is a kind of radiance, a brilliance in you, because now you have full control of the gene expression, which means pretty much everything about the body. So we stop there. Any questions up to this point? Okay, let's move on then. Shrorta Akashayoho, the Sutra 342. I'm at the right place. Let me just move down a little bit. Right there, 342. Shrorta Akashayoho, Sambandha Samyamat, Divyam Shrotam. So Shrorta means the hearing, right? Shrorta means hearing. And Akashayoho is space. So Sambandha means association or making connection. Samyamat. When you associate the hearing and sounds, the hearing ability, more than the hearing ability, it is the sounds with the space. When you are able to associate the two and do a samyama on that, you get Divyam Shrotam, means you get special and very enhanced hearing abilities. We also saw this earlier, where one is able to listen to the sounds of animals and things like that. And also we saw with that Prabhavat, one can get all this too. So some of them repeat because he is trying to reiterate and also come up with new terminology to explain those special abilities. Sutra 343, Kaya Akashayoho Sambandha Samyamat Lagutula Samapatehe Cha Akasha Gamanam. So here Kaya means body, the physical body. Akashayoho, again, the same as the last sutra. Akashayoho means space. Sambandha, again, association or connection. Samyamat, we know, the three-step process. So what he is saying here, seeing the body as connected to space and making an association between the two and doing a samyama on that, what do you get? You get a special ability by where lagu means light or easy. These are the meanings for lagu. So here in this case, it is light. Light as what? Tula means cotton wool. From the tree, from the cotton tree, you pick cotton. It is like that cotton wool, very, very light. So what he's saying is, by doing this samyama with the body associated with the space, that kind of samyama, you begin to feel your body to be very light as the cotton wool. Samapatehi. Why he is using Samapatehi here is Samapati, the state of Samapati we saw in chapter 1. So the state of Samapati is that full concentration, right? Full absorption, state of absorption. So what he is saying is, Samapatehi, it feels like the body is one with the cotton wool. That is, you feel so light. What does it mean? When you feel so light, you can fly. You can move from one place to the other. With your body, you can move from one place to the other. That's what he's stating here. That is kind of a siddhi. Okay. Any question here? See, these are all, it's all like a theorem. So one has to get this ability to understand what it is, to experience what it is. Recently, Gandhi sent me a video where, this is maybe about a month back, he sent me a video where one person is actually one young person. He must be in his 20s, mid-20s or whatever. He is flying. He's just taking off and he's flying. So quite a very impressive video. And after 2-3 minutes, he goes up and then he comes and lands. Gandhi, you may probably post that video in the group if you have it with you.
Sure, Kumar. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So let's move on. Bahihi akalpita vrittihi mahavideha videha tatah prakasha avarna kshayah. So let's
Excuse me, Kumarji. Can you please scroll down
so sorry. Thank you. Bahihi akalpita vrittihi mahavideha tatah prakasha avarna kshayah. This kshayah we have seen as chayeta, chayeti, and all that. It means wearing out or degrading. That's the meaning of that. Let's look at this phrase. Prakasha avarna kshayah. Prakasha means bright, light, all that. Avarna is covering, one that covers. Kshayah, I said, it is decaying or degrading or wearing away. So what is he saying here? This light, that innermost being of ours, the core in us, is a light. It's like a light. When that is very, very bright, that's when we have attained the state of full connectivity to the divine and we are fully enlightened, able to get all the knowledge from above. So that light, normally it is covered. Covered with what? Covered with what, people?
All kleshas.
Kleshas?
Avidya.
Huh?
Avidya.
Only avidya?
Well,
All the
Klesh,
kleshas.
Klesh is the Avidya, all the Kleshas.
All the kleshas. That's what Sundar was saying. So avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha,
Dvesha,
and abnivesha.
Abhinivesha.
Oh, good. All these 5. So kleshas, what else? Come on, people, you have done so many assignments. People who have done assignments, please speak up. What are the other things? That cover the light?
Karmas.
Karmas. Yes, karmas. Excellent. So klesha is a set of programs, karma is a set of programs, and then what else?
Activation.
Activations. Excellent. Activations, another set of programs. So all this is covering that light. So prakasha avarana kshaye. So this light is being covered by all that as it wears away, or as this kleshas, karmas, and activations wear away, because we are in a very high state now, right? We are able to connect, we are able to do samyama, and we are in a very high state. So as these are all getting worn away, what is happening? Bahihi akalpita vrittihi. Bahihi means outside. Bahihi. That's why it's called Bahiranga Yoga, right? It is outside the inner thoughts and the chitta. All this pranayama, all that is just outside of that. That is why it is Bahiranga Yoga. Antaranga Yoga is Dharana Dhyana Samadhi. So Bahihi means outside. Akalpita. Akalpita means unimaginable. Vritti is activation. Vrittihi is activations, the plural. The activations in us, unimaginably big activations we have, right? Unimaginably big activation. All these activations are programs. So how do they appear? This huge bundle of vrittis, activations that are there in us. How does it appear? Mahavideha. Maha means very big.
Big.
Big. Yes, Maha means big. Videha means a body. Okay. So you can see this, you can imagine this, or you can see this vritti as so huge in us. And then from that, because of the state in which we are, you can also see it is slowly wearing away, because the light in us is becoming brighter and brighter. What does it mean? It really means all the vrittis are subsiding. With me?
Kumar, explain once again.
Okay. Did you understand the prakasha avarana kshaya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, bahihi akalpita vrittihi. So, the vrittis which were inside us, it appears as if it is outside in a huge body. Until then, we have not even seen it, right? Until you become a seeker, you don't even see the vritti. Now, in a higher state, whatever vrittis are there, you see it as a huge body outside. And as it goes away and away outside, the prakasha inside is getting brighter and brighter. As if you're letting all the vrittis go away.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
See, he's again, putting the what should I say? Trying to quieten the mind, quieten the vrittis, making the vrittis dormant, or burning away the vrittis, or demagnetizing, in whatever words we want to call it. So he's saying the same thing in a different way, as if it is a huge body that is going away. All these things are going away and forming a huge body outside. which is not going to come back to you. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
this
you.
is actually a kind of a purification process that he's talking in the sutra, like a purification process, right? This is the purification process. So this is the same thing we saw in chapter 2, sutra 1. Tapaha, remember that?
Swadhyaya. Yeah.
Tapaha,
Swadhyaya.
Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana, Ishvara Pranidhanani. With that, also you can burn away. So it is kind of referring to that too. All these are purification sutras. We move on to the next sutra. Stula Swarupa Sukshma Anvaya Artatva Samyamat Bhuta Jayaha. Very interesting sutra. Bhuta means anything that is created of matter, anything that is created. Jayaha means when you have victory over that, when you have conquered that, when you have conquered anything that is created. What does it mean? That is, you are able to overcome the properties of certain created things, like a stone. If there is a big stone, you cannot lift it. There is a huge stone, you cannot lift it. But if you can lift it on your own, that means you have conquered that aspect of that. Bhuta Jaya. So, Stula Swarupa. Stula means physical. Swarupa means form. So, Stula Swarupa. Sukshma, subtle. Anvaya, association. Artatva is meaning. Samyamat. Samyamat we know. So, by associating the subtle nature of the physical form, Stula Swarupa, associating, that is Anvaya, associating that, associating all that, and trying to get the meaning through Samyamat, what will happen to you? You can conquer the creation. You can get control over creation, literally getting control over Prakriti. Certain aspects of Prakriti, you can get control over that. The way to understand this is, there was a saint by name Sant Jnaneshwar. Shobhu is not here today.
No.
Shobhu is not there. Oh, you were there. Akka, you were there. We all went to that place called Alandi.
Alandi.
So this happened in Alandi. What happened in Alandi? Sant Jnaneshwar was a very humble Siddha. And there was another gentleman at that time who was also a Siddha. So he was kind of a person who would speak loud and things like that. And he would come into the small town or a village riding on a tiger. He would come on a tiger, and so people will be scared, and he would sit on the tiger as he comes. As he's sitting on the tiger, the people will all, will run away, getting scared of him. The Sant Jnaneshwar used to sit on a small wall in that small village, and many people went to him for suggestions, advice, because he was very learned and very humble. So this man will come and make a lot of noise, and then he will go away, do whatever he has to do, and then go away. So one day as he came, he heard about Sant Jnaneshwar, and so he saw Sant Jnaneshwar sitting on that wall. So he asked Sant Jnaneshwar, "Oh, I heard a lot about you. Oh, what can you do? What is that you know?" So Sant Jnaneshwar, he didn't say anything. He was sitting on the wall. So he just lifted himself with the wall, flew, and then came and sat with the wall next to this person. I mean, close to him, close to this boastful Siddha. So then the Siddha said, oh my God, I can only control living beings like this lion's mind. I can take control and do whatever I want the tiger to do. But you can even control non-living things, right? So you are very great. And then he immediately left that place. So why I'm saying this example is Sant Jnaneshwar, even that, even now if you go to the temple, it's in Maharashtra, close to Pune. I don't remember how far from Pune. We visited this place probably about 10, 12 years back, myself, my sister, elder sister, and Lakshmi and Shobhu and her husband and my brother, all of us. So about 6 or 7 of us, we visited that place. It's in the place called Alandi. There's a nice river flowing there, and the temple is right on the banks of the river, small temple. And if I'm not wrong, it is a Shiva temple. And there is this place of worship for Sant Jnaneshwar too. So Sant Jnaneshwar had that kind of a control. So of things that he could just lift him up himself along with the wall and things like that. Tataha will go. Any questions on this? Okay. Tataha anima adi pradurbhavaha kaya sampat tat dharma anabhigataha cha. So here the sandhi, the last word, dharma, it is actually written as dharman abhigataha. So make that correction. It is dharma anabhigataha.
Yes, you've already told that.
Yeah, because you attended. There are others who are attending for the first time. Dharma anabhigataha. Tataha, from these, or from these meaning from the earlier sutras and this, from this kind of a state. What do you get? Anima adi. Anima means becoming very, very tiny. You can become very, very small, like an atom. Adi means etc. There are supposed to be 8 such siddhis. Ashta siddhi they call it. Hanuman was supposed to have had those siddhis. What are they? It's there in the footnote. If you look at the footnote, you will see Anima is becoming very, very tiny. Lagima is becoming very, very light. That sutra is what we saw earlier in Sutra 39, 339, I think. That like becoming like cotton wool, right? And you are able to fly.
No, 43.
No, 43. Sorry, 43. Yeah. Lagu kula samapatehi. Lagu tula samapatehi. Like a cotton wool, you can fly. So this is like that. Lagima is becoming very, very light. Mahima is becoming very, very big. Prapti is you can reach to any place, you can go to any place. Prakhamya, achieve all desires. Anything that you think, it will happen. Prakhamya. Ishtava is ability to create anything, and Vashishtava, ability to control everything. So there are 8 of them that Hanuman had. He had those Ashtasiddhis. And how humble he was with all those Ashtasiddhis. That's what one has to see. So he's talking about that when he says in the sutra, here, anima adi. Adi means etc. Anima etc. means those other 7. Pradurbhavaha kaya sampat tat dharma anabhigataha. Dharma means dharma anabhigataha means abhigataha means to destroy or kill or to violate. Here, I think the right word would be violate. Anabhigataha means not to violate. Dharmically, whatever is there, without violating any of those things, although it seems it is being violated, right? When somebody can become really tiny, when somebody can become huge, when somebody can become so heavy that he cannot be lifted and moved. This is what happened to Hanuman, right? In Sri Lanka, he became huge.
Yes.
So those kinds of things, although it seems it is against nature, but it is not against here. The way it is done by the Siddha is in such a way that it is not violating the Dharma. Where was that? So, Tataha Anima Adi Pradurbhavaha we have seen earlier. You remember that Pradurbhavaha? Nobody remembers? Not sure whether it was
3.9.
3 point?
9.
Yes. So Pradurbhava is that bhava where you justify, although you know it is not the right thing, but you justify it, saying, okay, this is all right. This is okay. In this situation, it is all right for me to do this. That's what we say. Right? Hello? No one has gone silent. Okay. So from this sutra, what we understand is all these 8 siddhis or more can come to you, special abilities, because you need it at that point of time. And that is why that kaya sampat. Kaya means the body, and sampat is that association that you do. So you are able to, with those, you are able to get those various 8, those tremendous siddhis. So if you look at the footnotes here, he says, from that arise the ability to become minutely small and such other abilities and great abilities of the physical body that violate properties of nature. Okay.
Kumar, please explain 47 again.
46.
47.
You have not gone to 47 yet. You are in 46.
You said Kaya Sampat.
It is there in 46 also.
Oh, okay.
So all this, if I have to, I'm just mapping this to the siddhis are something that is given, not developed, right? So it must be tied to the karmas.
Siddhis are tied to the.
If to fulfill, we are given this birth to fulfill the karma.
Yes.
So if that is the case, then the siddhis should also be associated it's kind of in order to fulfill the karma, that some certain siddhis are given because that's the nature, right? Is that can I
Yeah,
map it
yeah.
like that?
yeah. Yes. So generally these are karma related in the sense, the way you have to look at it is like that, swadharma. For the sake of swadharma, it is given,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
That's how you should visualize that.
Okay.
So we'll move on to the next sutra. Rupa Lavanya Bhala Vajra Sahanatvani Kaya Sampat. So what kind of bodily wealth? Kaya Sampat is bodily wealth. What kind of bodily wealth that you get? Rupa Lavanya. Rupa means this physical form. Lavanya. Lavanya is beautiful or handsome, whatever, graceful. You get that. And Bhala, you get that strength. Vajra. Vajra Sahanatwani means you get a body that can withstand. Sahanatwani means that which can withstand. Hold on 1 second here. Yes. Sahanatwani, Vajra Sahanatwani means your body can even withstand a thunder or a lightning. If a lightning strikes also, nothing will happen to you. That kind of ability you will get. Okay. That is again a siddhi. A lightning strikes, normally we die or burn to ashes or some, depending on the intensity of the lightning, or you can have 3rd-degree burns, things like that, etc. So here you will not be affected at all. That Vajra is that thunderbolt or lightning. You will be able to withstand that. Your Rupa will have Lavanya, beautiful and handsome, whatnot, graceful. And you have the strength. Earlier we saw you, once the mind quietens, everything is quietened and all that, you will get strength that going back to Sutra 139 or 123.
Elephant. Strength of an elephant. Strength of an elephant.
You will get the strength of the elephant. Why? Because you're leading a life of moderation. That sutra in chapter 3, which is describing that you will get strength of the elephant, is because you're leading a life of moderation.
Moderation.
That's actually referring to another sutra in chapter 1, where we said, you don't go overboard, right? How you're very moderate, not only in actions, in thinking also. That's more important. Okay.
So just by changing thoughts, the body will become stronger than natural reactions.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Instead of going to the gym,
Right.
if you engage here, but what is easier, going to the gym?
Right.
And getting that physical strength. And if you don't do for a week, if you don't do for a month, again the muscles become weak. So all the gym will lose their business if people read these sutras. And you can do it at the comfort of your house. You don't need anything, right? You don't need any gadgets. Somebody wanted to ask a question?
No.
No. So let's move. It's almost time. We have another 2-3 minutes. Grahana Swarupa Asmita Anvaya Artatva Samyamat Indriya Jaya. So let's look at here. Grahana. Grahana means to grasp. Grahana. That is why it is called Grahanam. In a Grahanam, what is happening? The moon is grasping the earth, or the earth is grasping the moon or the sun. I mean, when I say grasping, it appears like that, right? Apparently, we see it like that. The shadow of the earth covering the sun or covering the moon, whatever, right? So Grahana, grasping. Swarupa. Swarupa is the form. Asmita, experiencer. Anvaya. So associating this grasping of the physical form with asmita of the experiencer and trying to find the meaning. Artatva is trying to find the meaning using samyama. What will happen? You can get indriya jaya. You can get control over your senses. You can get control over your indriyas. What are the indriyas?
The five senses.
The five senses. Yes. Seeing, touching, tasting, hearing, and
Smelling.
smelling. Yes. The five senses. Why is not mouth is part of the senses?
Tongue is the, yeah.
Yeah, but speaking.
Yes,
Hearing is there, but why speaking is not there? Speaking is not one of the five senses, not recognized as one of the five senses. Seeing, yes.
That's an output. That's not
Huh?
an input.
Exactly.
That's not an input. That's an
Exactly.
output.
Exactly.
Kind of, you know.
So what comes to how we sense this world? By touching, by seeing, by sounds that we hear. These are all inputs. Okay. Taste, smell. So the five senses are the inputs to us. So the question goes to my sister Akka. How does the cell phone sense? What are the senses in the cell phone? Without looking at your notes. Unmute. You have to unmute.
Speaker and mic.
What does the speaker do?
Speak.
Huh?
Speak.
The speaker speaks. The cell phone.
So,
But
no.
I said, you have forgotten?
I
What are
remember
the
four senses. Four senses I remember.
Tell me the four senses.
Speaker, mic, camera,
Uh,
and then one more is touch.
the touch.
Yeah.
So now explain that. What is the camera do?
Seeing.
Seeing. Camera is seeing.
Seeing.
Okay. So that is one sense. What is the what is the where is the touch coming from on the cell phone? Which part
When we
is
touch
being,
when we touch the icon,
so the screen basically, right?
screen, yeah, screen.
The icons are all on the screen, you touch the screen. So the screen
Yes.
is touch sensitive. Just like the human skin is touch sensitive, fingers are touch sensitive. So the cell phone is getting its input from the screen.
Mm.
Because you touch it, it gets the input from there. It gets the input from the camera. By seeing, it is getting that. And what else?
Mm.
What is the, where is it is get the, what other input it is getting? These two inputs you have said. What other input it is getting?
When we speak,
When you speak, what happens?
speak,
When you speak, what happens to the cell phone? What is the sense organ in the cell phone that picks up your speech?
speaker. No,
Microphone.
yeah, mic, mic,
Microphone.
microphone.
Hmm. What does the speaker do? Does the speaker gives out the sounds, or does it takes the sounds? Does it take,
Gives the sound.
gives
it.
out the
out.
sounds, right? It
Gives
gives out.
the,
So
gives
out
out.
of these four, are all of them inputs or all of them outputs? How many are inputs? How many are outputs?
One output.
Yes. Let my sister answer.
All are inputs.
How can the speaker be an input? Okay, think about it. We'll discuss in the next class. Namaste.
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 Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
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 Namaste. Thank you.